We are up to Sefer Chafetz Chaim 147, condition number 6. When should an alternative to speaking Rechilus for a constructive purpose, L'Ta'elis, be pursued? When should you try to find a different alternative to speaking even constructive? And when is it necessary to speak the Rechilus, so-called L'Ta'elis, for a constructive purpose? So, condition number 6. As with Lashon Hara, one may not tell over Rechilus for a constructive purpose if this purpose can be accomplished another way, through other means. Of course, the easiest of all is the direct approach. That is, you inform the potential victim of what's being plotted against him, and you allow the person then to protect themselves, right? That's the simplest thing. That's the normal. You just go and you tell him what the guy's doing about him, and that's Rechilus. But it's L'Ta'elis. The Torah, however, views this as the last resort, meaning if that's the last thing that you could, then you have to do that. But if an option exists, that's different. One has to try to protect the victim without even the guy suspecting, or for sure not knowing, that someone is trying to harm him. Now this doesn't mean, that's not a case, let's say, where the potential victim needs to be on guard. Because you can't watch the guy for the rest of his life, right? Sometimes the guy needs to know about this to protect himself all the time. You can't watch him 24/7, right? So sometimes the guy needs to know, and you're going to have him protect himself. But in cases, let's say, if you can try to protect him in a certain case that's being plotted against at that time, you can undermine it and just make sure it doesn't happen, then you didn't have to speak any of this Rechilus, even L'Ta'elis. Obviously, there's a limit to how much effort you have to, invest to protect this guy from being harmed when he can protect himself. What are you going to do? Hire a security guard for him? And not that way you don't have to tell the guy, the Rechilus. Now, if in order to avoid involving the potential victim, it was going to cost you a lot of time and energy and resources, then it's permitted to tell the guy. And that way, you told him, and it's not the best way, but a lot of times that's the most direct.